Hidden beneath the restless waves of the Atlantic lies a secret that has defied logic for over a century. A ship found adrift, her sails torn, her cargo untouched, but her crew vanished without a trace. What happened aboard the Mary Celeste? Was it mutiny, a violent storm, or something far darker, something the ocean itself refuses to reveal? Now, we uncover one of the most haunting maritime mysteries ever recorded. But first, you might want to keep your lights on. This is Hidden Myst, and these are the secrets the world forgot. December 5th, 1872. The Atlantic Ocean lies still, shrouded in mist and an eerie calm that feels almost unnatural. On this vast, endless expanse, a British brigantine named De Gratia sails steadily through the waves. Her captain, David Morehouse, spots something unusual on the horizon, a vessel drifting aimlessly, her sails half torn, flapping weakly in the cold wind. No distress signal, no crew visible on deck. As the De Gratia approaches, tension grips the sailors. The name painted on the ghostly hull reads, Mary Celeste. What they found on board that day would baffle the world for centuries. A ship perfectly seaworthy, her cargo intact, provisions untouched, yet every soul aboard had vanished without a trace. No signs of struggle, no evidence of mutiny or piracy, just silence. A silence so absolute it felt as if time itself had stopped. The Mary Celeste has since become one of the greatest maritime mysteries of all time, a story woven into the very fabric of nautical legend, where logic fades and the sea keeps her secrets locked beneath the waves. In this documentary, we'll explore the chilling truth behind the legend. From the ship's ill-fated voyage to the strange discoveries on board, to the countless theories ranging from scientific to supernatural that attempt to explain what really happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste. This is the story of the ghost ship that refused to sink into oblivion.
November 7th, 1872. The Mary Celeste departs from New York Harbor, her sails bright against the morning sun. Commanded by Captain Benjamin Briggs, a respected and deeply religious mariner, she carries a small but experienced crew, 7 men, along with Briggs's wife, Sarah, and their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia. Their destination, Genoa, Italy. Their cargo, 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol, bound for European merchants. The voyage seems routine, the weather calm, the crew disciplined, the captain meticulous in every detail. Briggs writes in his final letter to his mother, "Our ship is in beautiful trim, and I trust in God we shall have a prosperous voyage." But the Atlantic has never been kind to those who underestimate her silence. For nearly a month, the Mary Celeste sails west of the Azores Islands. No one could have imagined that it would soon become the centerpiece of one of the most chilling maritime enigmas ever recorded. On November 25th, the ship's logbook records calm weather and smooth sailing. Then, nothing. The entries stop abruptly, without warning or sign of distress. It would take 10 days before the De Gratia discovered her adrift about 400 miles east of the Azores. But those 10 days remain a black hole in maritime history, a void where reason collapses. What happened between the calm seas of November 25th and the silent discovery on December 5th? Somewhere in that window, the Mary Celeste transformed from a vessel of life into an empty shell.
December 5th, 1872. The Dei Gratia sails cautiously toward the drifting vessel. Captain Morehouse, through his spyglass, studies her strange movements. Sails ragged, rigging loose, yet the ship remains afloat. No distress flag, no visible crew, only an unnatural stillness, the kind sailors dread more than any storm. As the Dei Gratia closes in, the crew recognizes her name, Mary Celeste. Morehouse's expression hardens. He knows her captain, Benjamin Briggs, a trusted friend, a man of strong faith and steady judgment. The shock is immediate. There is no sign of struggle, yet something feels terribly wrong. First Mate Oliver DeVoe and 2 seamen board the abandoned ship. They call out, no answer. The only reply is the creak of wood and the slap of waves against the hull. Below deck, the air is heavy with dampness and silence. The crew's personal belongings remain untouched, clothing neatly folded, navigation tools in place, even a sewing machine left mid-use by Sarah Briggs. But the lifeboat is gone. The cargo hold contains almost all 1,701 barrels intact, though several are later found to be leaking alcohol. The ship's logbook lies open on the captain's desk, the last entry dated November 25th, near the Azores. Everything else is exactly as it should be, except for the missing people. The sails were partly torn, but the hull showed no damage. The compass was broken, perhaps by force. A rope dangled off the stern, trailing deep into the water, as if a small boat had once been tied there. It was a ghost ship, frozen in time. The men of the Dei Gratia decided to sail the Mary Celeste to Gibraltar, hoping to claim salvage rights and uncover the truth. But what awaited them in port would only deepen the mystery. When the Mary Celeste arrived in Gibraltar, the mystery deepened. Authorities inspected the ship meticulously. Captain Briggs' disappearance puzzled everyone. A man known for his skill, integrity, and caution could not simply vanish. First, the crew of the Dei Gratia was questioned. They described the eerie calm, the lack of any struggle, and the meticulous state of the ship. Their report confirmed the obvious. The Mary Celeste had been abandoned under strange circumstances. Next, officials examined the logbook and cargo. There were no signs of foul play. The barrels of alcohol were mostly intact, though some had leaked, creating a faint chemical odor. The lifeboat was missing, yet no records indicated that it had been used. Personal items, money, and valuables remained untouched. The ship appeared entirely seaworthy, capable of continuing her journey. Rumors immediately began circulating. Some claimed the crew had been overcome by alcohol fumes, causing a temporary panic that led them to abandon the ship. Others suggested piracy, but nothing had been stolen, and there were no signs of violence. Mutiny? Again, no evidence. Natural disasters like rogue waves or sudden storms were possible, yet the ship showed no damage consistent with such an event. Newspaper reports across Europe and America sensationalized the story. Headlines described ghost ships, supernatural intervention, and inexplicable vanishing acts. Letters to editors, journals, and maritime authorities debated theories endlessly, but no consensus emerged. Gibraltar became the stage for legal proceedings as salvagers claimed rights to the ship and its cargo. Lawyers argued, historians speculated, and the public gawked. Yet the truth remained hidden beneath the silent Atlantic waves. Over time, the Mary Celeste entered legend. Maritime scholars studied her case for decades, each theory adding another layer to the complex puzzle: a perfect ship, intact cargo, and a vanished crew. What happened during those 10 days between the last logbook entry and the ship's discovery? Perhaps we will never know. And yet the story continues to inspire intrigue, fear, and speculation across generations.
Over the decades, the fate of the Mary Celeste has invited countless theories. Some are grounded in science, others steeped in superstition, and many remain purely speculative. One of the earliest scientific explanations involves the ship's cargo, industrial alcohol. The barrels were prone to leakage, and fumes could accumulate below deck. Could the crew have been overcome by alcohol vapor, panicked, and abandoned ship in a lifeboat? Perhaps. Yet no bodies were ever found, and the lifeboat's disappearance adds complexity. Rogue waves and sudden storms were also considered. Sailors knew the Atlantic could be merciless, with hidden currents capable of overturning vessels. However, the Mary Celeste was intact, with no visible storm damage. Such natural disasters, while plausible, failed to explain the calm appearance of the ship at discovery. Mutiny or piracy is another theory, though evidence is lacking. Captain Briggs was respected and experienced. There were no stolen goods, no signs of struggle, and the crew was loyal. Supernatural explanations emerged as well. Ghosts, sea monsters, and cursed ships became part of popular lore. The press and public imagination fueled these stories, creating a narrative of fear and mystery. While compelling, these theories offer no factual evidence. Other speculative hypotheses suggest navigational errors, medical emergencies, or even alien intervention. Each theory reflects the human need to explain the unexplainable. Yet none fully reconcile the facts: a seaworthy ship, personal effects intact, and a vanished crew. Modern scholars continue to debate, blending historical research with maritime science. Some propose a combination of factors: alcohol fumes, sudden waves, and panic, but the definitive truth remains elusive. The Mary Celeste endures as a symbol of the ocean's inscrutable power and the mysteries that remain just beyond the reach of reason.
After the Mary Celeste was salvaged in Gibraltar, the mystery did not end. The ship was repaired and returned to service under different owners, but its reputation as a cursed vessel followed closely. Over the next few years, the ship changed hands multiple times. Every voyage attracted attention from sailors, historians, and the public alike. Crew members reportedly felt uneasy, citing strange noises and sudden chills on board. Some claimed to see ghostly apparitions in the cabins or on the deck during foggy nights. In 1880, the Mary Celeste was sold to German owners. They attempted to erase the stigma of the ghost ship, renaming her and making modifications. Yet whispers of her cursed past persisted, appearing in newspapers and maritime journals. The ship's final voyage in 1885 remains another mystery. Under the command of Captain Hans Schroeder, she was loaded with cargo and set sail from New York to the Caribbean. Rough seas and a violent storm were reported in the area, and the Mary Celeste was lost at sea, never to be recovered. The disappearance reinforced the legend. Unlike her first eerie encounter, no ship ever found her derelict. No new evidence emerged, leaving historians and enthusiasts to speculate endlessly. The Mary Celeste thus occupies a unique place in maritime history, a vessel that survived the first inexplicable event only to vanish completely years later. Her story continues to inspire novels, documentaries, and countless theories. the mystery endures as a reminder of the ocean's unpredictable power and the fragility of human life against forces beyond comprehension.
The story of the Mary Celeste has transcended maritime history to enter the realm of legend. Authors, filmmakers, and artists have drawn inspiration from her eerie voyage and mysterious abandonment. In literature, she appears in novels and short stories, often as a symbol of the unknown or as a cautionary tale about the sea's unforgiving nature. Newspapers in the late 19th century sensationalized the events, painting the ship as a ghostly vessel, an omen of doom for sailors. The Mary Celeste has also influenced cinema and television. Documentaries, historical dramas, and mystery shows recreate her story with varying degrees of speculation and accuracy. The ship embodies humanity's fascination with the unexplained, the tension between fact and legend, reason and fear. Scholars continue to examine her legacy, noting that the fascination with the Mary Celeste lies not only in the mystery of her crew's disappearance, but also in the broader questions she raises about human vulnerability, trust in technology, and the power of the natural world. Museums and maritime exhibits worldwide feature artifacts and reproductions, allowing the public to engage with history firsthand. The ship has become a cultural touchstone, a symbol of the ocean's secrets and the stories that endure beyond the bounds of explanation. Today, over 150 years later, the Mary Celeste continues to captivate the imagination. Her story reminds us that even in an age of science and technology, some mysteries remain resolutely beyond comprehension. The ghost ship of the Atlantic sails perpetually in our collective consciousness, a testament to the enduring allure of the unknown.
More than a century has passed since the Mary Celeste was first discovered adrift in the Atlantic. Her story remains one of the most baffling maritime mysteries ever recorded. Despite meticulous investigations, rigorous analyses, and endless speculation, the ultimate fate of Captain Briggs, his family, and the crew continues to elude historians. No new evidence has emerged to provide definitive answers. The silence of the sea preserves the enigma, reminding us that not all questions have answers, and not all events are explainable. The Mary Celeste is more than a ghost ship. She is a symbol of human curiosity, our drive to seek understanding, and the limits of knowledge in the face of nature's immense power. Every time a ship sails the Atlantic, every time a sailor navigates the open waters, the legend of the Mary Celeste lingers, a whisper in the wind, a shadow in the mist, a story that refuses to fade. Perhaps the mystery is what endures most powerfully. It compels us to look closer, to question, to imagine, and in doing so, the ghost ship lives on, not only in history books, but in the imagination of every person who has ever wondered about the unknown. And so, the Mary Celeste continues her eternal journey, a haunting reminder that the ocean keeps some of its secrets forever, and that some mysteries are destined never to be solved.
The Mary Celeste continues her eternal journey, a silent witness to the secrets the ocean refuses to share. But this was only one of many mysteries still waiting to be uncovered. Subscribe to Hidden Myst, turn on the bell, and join us as we explore the stories that time tried to forget. Because somewhere beyond what we know, another mystery is waiting.